Hello everybody, it's your friend Daniel and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be tier listing every single GCSE subject. Now, how I'm judging these, I'm not just judging these by how good they are or how fun or easy they are to do. I'm also judging them by impact they can have on your future. Now, without further ado, let's jump straight in. Starting off with art. Fairly good GCSE, lots of coursework, and I believe there's one or two exams depending on the exam board that lasts 6 to 10 hours. This is fairly mandatory if you want to go into anything design based or creative based in future. And just from it being required to go into so many different A levels and then uni courses, and it's just sort of the Kickstarter for all things design based, I am going to put it in A tier. Now for economics. Economics is good, but at the same time, you can go into A level economics without having many colleges allow you to go into A level economics without having economics GCSE, which is a bit it gives you a massive head start over people who would have not done a economics GCSE, but at the same time, like it's not 100% mandatory to do economics GCSE. However, it still is a fairly academic GCSE with it allowing you to get knowledge on what basics of economics. And at the end of the day, it's a GCSE which counts towards your grade and allows you to just get an extra GCSE. So I'm going to be putting it in C tier. Next up, engineering. Engineering is a bit like physics, but it's more focused on the material side. So you get more Hooke's law stuff, more materials, more structural stuff. And overall, while it's definitely not necessary to even get into engineering at uni, it still is fun. And if you like engineering and you understand it and you have a scientific mind, it's fairly easy. But it's in a weird mixture where it's both very helpful for going into engineering or engineering based A levels, but at the same time, it's not actually needed. You can do engineering A level with just physics, and then you can do engineering at uni without either of the engineering GCSE or engineering A level. So I'm gonna put it in C tier because it's helpful, it's good, but just like economics, it's not necessary, and many schools don't even offer economics and engineering. So due to schools not offering it, many colleges are forced to allow you to do it as at A level without having the actual GCSE. English language. English language is fairly good. It allows you to critically analyze things. It's one of the GCSEs that is required alongside maths for you to pass to actually be able to get anywhere. And just due to you being required to pass it, I am going to put it in A tier above art just because of how necessary it is, and it helps you build your critical analysis skills, helps you build the ability to understand what you read. The only thing that's slightly annoying about it is the creative writing and the writing sections where you have to create your own story. Because if you're not creative, that sort of limits you. Like me, for example, I got full marks on most of the essays, but I absolutely bombed the creative writing and the writing in paper two, like the fiction and non-fiction writing. So it's it requires both media literacy and creativity, and for some that's a con, and for some that's a pro. Now, getting on to what the subjects I actually teach, biology. Biology is it's a good science. It's a lot of writing, but all the content is interlinked in a way that is really nice. So not and it encourages, particularly AQA, although their mark schemes are absolutely horrible. Particularly with AQA, it encourages a certain level of just promoting scientific understanding. So you can't just memorize it. You have to have a fairly scientific mind. You have to have some basic math skills. And I'm gonna put it in if you want to do anything related to biology, it's really good. But other than that, it's not that good. And many people are forced to do biology or do it within combined science. So I am going to put it in B tier just because it's a good GCSE. It's very well designed. Many exam boards have it really purpose built for biology. But if you're not it's forced on many people who aren't even planning to do anything related to biology. So it just sort of ends its usefulness there. Quickly, chemistry. Chemistry GCSE. Useful, good GCSE. If you do chemistry A level, I've had so many people tell me that chemistry A level is nothing like chemistry GCSE. So like chemistry GCSE in of itself would be like A or B tier. But the fact that it's not representative at all of what it is like to do chemistry at a higher level. You want your GCSEs to give you an understanding of what you want to do when you're older. So I'm gonna put it in C tier, just because like it's a well-designed GCSE, but it's not representative of what it is like to study chemistry at A level or uni. Now with business, I'm gonna rate business and where is it? I'm gonna rate business and PE together because they're sort of seen both as like the sort of cheap GCSEs that's very easy to get in, but like just because they're considered like to be less academically rigorous doesn't mean the skills they teach are any less useful. For example, coaching, if you go into coaching, your physical education has basic biology, allowing you to, and it also has basic coaching techniques, just allowing you to be able to like fully understand, like have a academic understanding, academic basis for what it is to coach and to be involved in sports and have like many sports careers. However, one negative for PE is that it is so unfocused. There are just so many different things that are just completely unrelated, and that sort of limits how like good it can be at providing a basis for what it is like to study it. It's the same issue with I did A level PE. It's the same issue with A level PE. GCSE PE is just like it's key stage 3 knowledge, but it's just like so much key stage 3 knowledge. And A level PE is just 5 GCSEs in a trench coat pretending to be an A level. It's like I'm gonna put PE in D tier. I enjoyed it. It's just not that useful. Like once again, you can do A level PE without GCSE PE, and like if you want to go into sports, like it's better to just go down biology, go down the GCSE A level biology pathway, and then swap to sports science at uni, because you can do sports science once again. You can do sports science um without GCSE or A level PE. But like I'm also rating these on like how are they necessary if you want to pursue a career in it. And there's not. Business, however, business is good. Business teaches skills. I know people who've done business. They've always spoken very positively of it, although, albeit a bit defensively when I joke about it being an academic subject. So I'm going to put PE. I'm going to put business in C tier, below chemistry. Next up, citizenship studies, and I'm gonna also get politics. This is going to be the most controversial opinion I've ever given. If you don't know what citizenship study is, it's like understanding society, law, and politics. 16-year-olds can vote. 16-year-olds need to have a basic understanding of what society is like and how it applies to them. So politics and citizenship studies are going in S tier because it is ridiculous that there is no mandatory like civics or citizenship study thing now that 16-year-olds can vote. I think one of these should be mandatory. Probably politics because it's more academically rigorous, but like I'm putting politics above citizenship studies because it's more academically rigorous. But 16-year-olds need to understand the state of the country. They need to understand politics. So I'm just putting an S tier. It not because it's necessary for any basic career thing, but it's necessary for 16-year-olds to be able to understand politics now they can vote and need to know who to vote for. Many schools do like their own like politics lessons unrelated to GCSEs or like societal lessons, but like not every school does that, and every 16-year-old can vote in the next general election, so they need to understand it. Next up, computer science. Computer science is also going in S tier. I didn't do this, but I'm doing a university degree that is heavy on coding, and I regret not doing computer science GCSE. You don't even need it at A level. Just doing it at GCSE is a good basis for coding. So like I'm doing maths and statistics degree. There is quite a bit of coding involved in that. And even doing GCSE computer science would have given me a massive heads up on how good it would be. Okay. Next up is dance. Um okay, design and technology. Design and technology, it's a very practical design focused thing where you get to design something. It's very like sort of design engineering focused and stuff like that. But once again, while it is a perfectly designed course, it's not necessary to go into design engineering. And like it's not necessary to do it at GCSE to be able to do it at A level in quite a few schools. So I'm gonna put it in B tier because it's a good course. You get good practical experience with designing things, which would be helpful in many careers. But at the same time, like it's not necessary to go into a career in design. Also, I'm gonna put dance up in E above next to PE because I felt bad. It's actually useful if you want to do anything dance related, but otherwise it's just completely useless. Same with drama, but drama has some more widespread uses, so I am going to put it in C above business, and I'm also going to put chemistry above economics and engineering because I feel like it. English literature. English literature, unlike English language, you're not required to pass, but honestly, I think English literature is a better designed course. It teaches you you to study a lot of English. Obviously, you study a lot of English literature. You study a lot of literature written by English people, and you sort of gain a deeper understanding of like different time periods. And it's also has more general analytical writing than English language. So although it's a bit less useless due to it being like more better written and better designed, except unseen poetry. I don't like unseen poetry because the whole point is that you know what's coming up in this, as compared to English language where you don't know what's coming up. I'm going to put it in A tier as well, just below English language, because although it's less useful, it's a lot better. Okay, now I'm going to do physics and combined science together just because we're getting to the end of the sciences. And physics, physics is required to go, A level physics is required to go into so many things, and of course, GCSE physics is required to A level physics. So, GCSE physics is a really good stepping stone to go into many different things, like obviously physics, engineering, stuff like that. And it's just required if you want to do anything in that field, like similar to biology. So I'm going to put it with biology because like it's the same thing where like if you're doing something physics related or you want to go into a career that's physics related, it's 100% required. However, if you're not, it's not required at all. And it's sort of useless. And for combined science is good because like as I said, for physics, biology, and where did I put chemistry? I put chemistry a bit below just because it's not related to A level or like future chemistry at all. Combined science, it's sort of the same, but I'd argue it's a bit better because it allows you don't have to specialize. If you don't want to go into doing anything science related in the future, you can do combined science, get your 2 GCSEs, and be done with science forever. So I'm just going to put it into A tier because of that. Now, psychology. I don't know much about psychology. However, I'm assuming it's the same as physics and biology, where it's hyper specific. If you're going to do psychology in future, you 100% need it. And if you're not going to do psychology in future, it's not needed. Same with religious studies. I think B tier is just becoming if you want to do something related to it, it's 100% needed. Otherwise, don't do it. Food prep and nutrition. Cooking is a useful skill in life. There's culinary schools that don't like require this. Food prep and nutrition is going to be the proper E tier because like if you want to become a chef, it's not really even that helpful for like wanting to become a chef, and like you know how to you just learn how to cook without wasting a GCSE on it. Geography. Geography's going in. I'm going to put geography in A tier just because it's a science that requires like a lot of writing. It's a mixture between a science and humanity, and it's great to see like how the sciences and humanities interlink, and like it's really useful for that. And it's a good GCSE, and it's useful if you want to go into anything like geography, geology, surveying, anything like that. It will be useful for. I can give you an idea of that. History's going in B tier with all the other things that like if you want to study history in future, you need this. If you don't want to study history in future, why would you do it? Ooh, mathematics and also further mathematics. Those are good. Those are tough ones. I may be a bit biased. Mathematics. It's in English language where it's one of the required things. It gives you basic understanding, but I'm gonna put it in S tier, but not cause of it being higher, not because of the whole higher tier stuff being useful. I think Foundation Maths is Foundation Maths is very clever in the way that it gets everyone's math skills up to a basic understanding for good life. Of course, there's functional skills and stuff, which, if you are struggling with Foundation Maths, is a good alternative. But so many things just require you to have a 4 or a 5 in maths, and Foundation allows that. And English language doesn't have a foundation tier. While maths having a foundation tier makes it a lot more useful for everyday life because you don't have to push yourself with nonsense like circle theorems, which you're never going to use again if you're not doing anything maths related. With foundation tier, it just gives you specifically what you need to live in everyday life. And then on top of that, if you want to go into anything maths related, any science at A level or any maths or science thing, you have higher tier. Further maths is going in B tier. If you want to pursue a career in maths, do it. Otherwise, don't. It's the same with all the other things in B tier, really. Media studies. That's going in D, I think, because it's one of those things where, like, you can go into media without media studies. Like, it's not even really needed, but it is sort of, like, useful. Music's also going in B, like, because unlike the other things, like, GCSE music is more academic and is a lot more appreciated. Like, obviously, there's a whole grade system, but having a GCSE and allowing further on an A level in music will allow you to show like a general understanding of music as a whole, unlike the grade system, which is specific for instruments with a little bit of music theory in. Sociology. Same with the B tier stuff, honestly. If you want to do something sociology related, you need it. Otherwise, you don't. Statistics. I'm not even gonna. You don't need statistics. I'm doing a maths and statistics degree. Never touched statistics GCSE or A level. It's going in. I think it's going in the top of D tier because like it's helpful. It gives you a head start on statistics, on the statistics part of A level maths, and if you're going to do math statistics, but like it's not in any way needed if you want to do anything related to statistics. A bit like PE, and like if you want to go into sports, or like especially if you want to be a professional athlete, you're not going to leave GCSE PE, but you won't need it for coaching either. Foreign languages. I am going to let someone else handle this because I did not do any foreign languages GCSE, and I hated them in Key Stage 3.
I'm going to talk about languages and how important they are. At GCSE level, you learn the basics of a language, and it helps to set you up for A levels. And I think that languages are generally really useful. in life in general, and I would put languages, foreign languages, in A tier.
Anyway, that's how the tier list is seeming to settle, with a fairly good, like, normal distribution of stuff in the middle and bottom and the top. Anyways, as I said at the beginning of this video, this tier list isn't based on, like, purely how academic they are or how prestigious the subjects are. It's based on how useful they'll be in future life. And, like, the only reason politics and citizenship studies are at the top is because, as I said, 16-year-olds can vote. They need to have a better understanding of society to, in my personal opinion, to facilitate, to justify them being able to vote. And I believe citizenship studies and politics are a great way to do that. Without 16-year-olds being able to vote, citizenship studies would probably be in D or E tier, and politics would probably be in B tier, because it is hyper specific. Anyway, I think this is a fairly good tier list. If you disagree, leave a comment saying otherwise. A respectful one, please, and make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.